Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Maria. Today I have a $3 farmhouse DIY. So I made these two windows for $3 total. So what you guys are going to need are two foam boards and some paint. I got the paint at Walmart. It was 99 cents. So here I was the other day trying to figure out how to do these windows so that I can do them ahead of time before I actually show you guys the measurements and everything. So I did do the first one. So now I'm just going to copy every single measurement. So we are going to start off by doing 2 inches along each side. So we're going to do 2 measurements of each on each side. So here I am right here doing 2 inches, 2 inches on each side. So another 2 inches, and you guys get the point, right? So this is how my foam board looks now that all the little markings are on there. And now all I'm going to do is connect all those lines. So it's kind of going to look like a frame. So that's just what I'm going to do now. So now the whole edge kind of looks like a frame. All lines are connected, and now I'm just going to start by splitting this little area here into 3 pieces so that I can do 3 squares on the bottom, and then I'm just going to do the markings, and I will show you guys right now where I made the markings. I didn't have my ruler straight, and I'm not sure why, but I got my markings a little bit up higher, but my first set is supposed to actually be at 7 and 8 inches, and then these here are supposed to be at 12 and 13 inches. So you guys can definitely just go ahead and do that. And now that I have my markings, I'm going to be doing the same thing as with the other ones. I'm going to connect those lines, and there's going to be 4 lines running down now. So now this is how it looks now that I connect those lines together. They're all nice and straight. And now we're going to start with the other side of the little window, and I am going to be doing the little line right before the 4-inch. If you guys can see that little dot right there, it's the line right before the 4 inches. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to skip 1 inch, and then after the 1 inch I'm going to do that same measurement, the line right before the 4 inches, and I'm going to do that so that I can have 4 full windows. And I'm going to mark the markings on both sides, not the middle, just both sides, so that I can be able to do straight lines again. So here we are from the bottom. I did them on both sides again. So this was the line that was right under the 4, and then I did 1 inch from that one. And then after this one, I did again the same thing to the line right under the 4 inches. And then from that one, I did 1 inch. But you guys get it, right? So that I can be able to do 4 little windows. Now I'm just going to put all the lines together. Now that my lines are all straight and little windows are there and everything. You guys are, I guess, I'm pretty sure, starting to get a little bit more of a picture. So I'm gonna start off at the middle at the top, and I'm just going to kind of do like an oval. I am not really good at drawing. That's why I need the ruler. But my daughter did tell me that to do kind of like a good circle, you keep your wrist at one spot and then you just kind of move your fingers up and down and you'll have like a perfect circle. So that's what I was trying to do here. So that's gonna make the arch of the top, and this line that I first did is gonna be the inside. So now I'm gonna start off at the top and all the way at the top, and I'm gonna do the same thing, but now this round part, I'm gonna try to do it all the way to the outside of the phone so that it can be as big as the window as I can. And I'm also making sure that this is gonna stay at 2 inches, just like the outside edge. Remember that when we first started, it was 2 inches. So I'm just kind of freehanding it in a little bit. I am going to measure it. And here I'm doing a line down the edges so that I can make sure that this is where my arch is going down. So I'm going to erase a little bit and I'm going to make my little markings and my arches a little bit more curved and nicer. So that is why I have my pencil and my eraser, because I am not good at drawing. So if I'm not good at drawing and I was able to do this, you guys can definitely do this. So here is the top of my arch. My window is all nice and round now. And now we're just going to start with the middle top part. And that was like a little bit hard, but I'm pretty sure you guys will get it. Here I'm starting off with the middle part. So this little arch here, it needs to be a little bit round. So what I started to do was I did kind of a triangle. And then after I did the triangle, I went and erased a little bit of the lines, and then I did it a little bit more rounder. And then after that, I still kind of noticed that it was a little bit too straight, so I kind of rounded it out with my pencil, and then I just erased the inner lines so that it can look a little bit round. So now I'm starting on the arch on the right, and you're going to be doing the same thing on the left side. So you're just going to have to do kind of a round arch going to the top, and then all these lines that we're doing, they're going to have the exact same lines over them, which are going to be the 1-inch arch, just like the middle of the window is, because this is going to be part of the window too. So now I'm just copying kind of the same arch that I just did on the right. So here I am now with my ruler again, and I am just measuring, and I'm going to be making markings at 1 inch, because I want to make sure that the arch that I do over these, that they are also 1 inch. On my tablet I had the picture, so that's why I kept looking back and stopping and making sure that I was doing it correct. Don't forget to keep marking all the lines with the 1 inch so that it's easier to do the markings. And that's just what I did on all of them. here is the top of my window, and to me the top looks like a V, and then the top bottom looks like a W with little triangles in the middle. So if that makes it easier for you guys, because I know that that would have made it so much easier for me when I started drawing it. That's exactly what I started looking at, and that is why to me it was a little bit easier to make, because I don't go off of the drawing, I go more off of shapes, what they look like. So I hope that that helps, and now I'm just going to start cutting it. So I went to get my box and a razor blade. This is what I'm going to be using under the foam board to cut it. And this razor blade, guys, remember that this is not a toy. This is sharp. You guys can definitely cut yourself, so be careful. And okay, so I'm gonna start cutting the arch, and be careful that you guys stay on inside of the line that you guys are supposed to cut. So since this is the outside part of the 2 inches, this is what I'm going to be cutting in the exact same spot on the opposite side. Now the inner parts of the top window, I'm going to be cutting inside of all these little areas here, and the inside of the 2 inches, we're not going to be cutting nothing at all. It's just the big squares and the triangles. That's what we're going to be cutting out. And just like how you guys cut the top parts, we're gonna be cutting the squares. Don't go into the inside middle parts of the 1 inch. Just stay inside of the squares and you guys will be okay. Remember guys that this is not how fast I was actually going. I just speed up the video because, you know, I didn't want to make such a long video for you guys. But I did want to include this in the video so you guys can see how I did every single window. But remember, take your time, be careful, don't cut yourselves. And I was definitely going really slow on cutting all these little squares. So here's my window frame, and you guys see all those little tiny white edges that are kind of, you know, sticking out. All you have to do is just pull it out carefully, you guys don't break your frame. Now here are both my windows, but I did do a 1/4 inch around all the windows because I am going to be painting a dark gray. I want to make sure to have an outline of outside, and I'm also going to be doing the same thing on the other one. This is the paint that I'll be using. I bought it at Walmart for 99 cents in the color pewter gray. So again, I'm just doing that border around all the little windows. I'm just going straight and all around the whole thing. And then after that, I'm just going to start trying to just stay maybe closer to the edges where I cut with the razor blade, so that those little lines are kind of gone. But also because I wanted to use the darker color, because since the windows are white foam, I did want them to stand out and look a little bit more real. So since I'm gonna have them up on the wall, I didn't want to have all white, and the white kind of blended into my wall. So that's why I stayed with the gray, with closer to the edges where I did cut. Here are both my windows, one painted and the other one is ready to be painted now. And now I'm just going to get closer so that you can see where it is that I painted. So this is how my windows look now that they're all done, and I was thinking of putting them on this wall, but after I put them up I did feel like it looked a little bit too lonely. So I'm going to be using some painter's tape, and that's just what I'm going to be using in the back. Later on, this was too heavy for that tape, so I did end up using one nail and I just hanged it on a nail. So here they are, both closer to each other, and this is how it looks from far when they are closer. And here's Andrew helping mom like always. What are you doing? You helping mom? Good job, Andrew. Papa. Papa. Good job, Andrew. I like you too. This is where I ended up leaving my windows. So the left window, I did have a nail there from where I had my clock hanging. So I took it off and I put that window there. I hanged my clock over there. And then I just grabbed another nail so that I can hang this other window here. And I do have to say that I do like my windows better here on this wall with that farmhouse sign on the top. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please make sure to give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye guys.